What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so this is something that I saw a couple of days ago, and I meant to do a video about this. So, of course, John Wick is coming back. All right, this announcement was made on April Fool's Day, of all days. It wasn't a joke; it was real. Now, this is a bit of a surprise to many people because the events of the fourth movie, John Wick 4, seems to suggest that John Wick is no more, that John Wick was bumped off toward the end of that movie. However, the ending of John Wick 4 was left ambiguous enough so that you could plausibly see a John Wick 5. Now, another reason why many people thought that the John Wick series may be over is because Keanu Reeves himself, who is now 60 years old, though he looks a lot younger than that, said just as recently as this past December that he didn't know if his knees could take the pounding of portraying John Wick for another shoot. You know, when he first, matter of fact, I think when he first played John Wick, he was 52, which is up there, but quite a bit younger than 60. So I think pretty much the same team is on board for this one. So the John Wick series has been extraordinarily popular, obviously. Me personally, I love the first one. I love the first one. I think his name is, I have trouble with his last name. The guy that played the crime boss in the first one, I think his name is Michael Nidvitz or something like that. He died of cancer some years ago. That was one of his last roles. I don't think he was sick when he did John Wick, but he got sick afterwards. That movie, magnificent. The other ones are okay, but I think they lacked something of the first one. I don't know. It's just very rarely, I'm not saying they weren't bad, they were bad movies, but sequels almost always lack the magic of the first movie. There are very few sequels, in my opinion, that are in the same class as the first movie, or they're even better than the first movie. Very, very rarely do you see that. I think some notable examples of that may be where the sequel is just as good, if not even possibly better than the first one. Maybe the second Godfather movie. I would say also Terminator 2, the sequel to Aliens. I think those are some of the few movies where you could seriously argue that the sequel was better than the first movie. Maybe some other ones too. I just can't think off the top of my head. But yeah. You know what's so crazy about Keanu Reeves too? I remember when he was younger, much younger, like in the 90s, Keanu Reeves was panned by most people, like comedians, fans. You know, they said that he was very wooden. I remember he was panned almost universally for his role in Bram Stoker's Dracula. You know, that movie, you had some awesome actors, some great actors. You had you had Anthony Hopkins in that movie. I think he played like 2 or 3 different roles in that film. You had, of course, Gary Oldman, the chameleon, Winona Ryder, who was at the peak of her popularity at the time. Love Winona Ryder, by the way. Jesus Christ. And Keanu Reeves was in that movie. And, you know, he always got this knock on him that he didn't emote well. Like it was always a wooden performance from him. Like, dude, you know, like everybody just sees Keanu as honestly, like when I was younger, like a teenager or in my early 20s, it's almost like everybody saw Keanu as his role in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Like that's Keanu Reeves, and everybody like, okay, well that's how he seems to be in every movie. I think that's an exaggeration. I think that he has some skills. There's something about him because you don't last in Hollywood. Well, I can't say that either. I can't say that. I don't want to insinuate anything negative about Keanu because I know how Hollywood works, right? But aside from connections, right, you still have to have something about you that's likable so that fans come out and watch you. I don't care what you're doing behind the scenes. If people don't like you, then you're going to fall off in Hollywood. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of people where they try to push their stars and it just doesn't work out. You know, just doesn't work out. But, you know, at the end of the day, I hope this movie does well. And, you know, I look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? There really haven't been a lot of good movies that come out so far this year to me. Oh, I just saw something that I don't know if I feel right about this movie. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if I feel right about this movie. They're doing a reboot of another movie. I'm gonna talk about that in the video later on. I just think they need to leave well enough alone when it comes to this masterpiece. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work because the actor that they have replacing this iconic actor isn't really known for comedy. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it will work. But, you know, I'll give it a chance, but it's risky. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.